Hello everyone, Vicky Verley here, Rock and Roll Prophetess. This is going to be your mid-month mini check-in reading for all signs. We're going to pull cards from the HAMSA Roberts. This is sort of a smaller mid-month sort of bonus reading. The main reading you can check on my channel, Rock and Roll Prophetess, on YouTube here. And there is a monthly reading that covers the whole month and is quite more elaborate or has a lot more information. This is just going to be 4 cards per each sign. Now you can scrub along the bottom, or it'll be time-stamped, or whatever sign that I'm reading will always be displayed down here. Real quickly, if you want to get a hold of me for any reason, you always have to go to my website. Don't be fooled by social media imposters. And of course, that website is vickyverley.com. And my special reading that I'm offering at this time is the eclipse reading, looking at both of the upcoming eclipses as it relates to your chart. It's a psychic astrology reading. Without further ado, let's dive into our sign by sign and look at the sign of Aries for second half of July 2026. Aries, sun, rising, moon, anybody who has Aries in their chart. We have 2 of Cups, the soulmate card, followed by the 8 of Swords, stressing, followed by the 6 of Pentacles, followed by the Ace of Pentacles. Well, what came through really strong right off the bat was they're saying, don't worry, you're going to get paid. So if you have some worry about, somebody is a soulmate here too. And for some of you, this could be your partner too. If you're in a relationship, this could be your soulmate partner. And maybe they're worried about if they're going to get paid or not. Or are you going to get the job or the gig or whatever? Because the Ace of Pentacles is here. This is like this can often be like some kind of individual, a new beginning in money, but it could be a new job or a gig or like a singular thing because it's an ace. You know, it's like maybe a one-off job or a one-off gig. I'm picking up real strong people in the trades. I feel this might be applying to for some of you. Like maybe you did a roofing job I'm picking up for somebody and you're worried if you're going to get paid. Or maybe it's vice versa where you're going to get your money's worth. Like maybe you put a deposit down on something like that, a big roofing job or a big job around your house or something like that. And you're like, oh, I hope I'm going to get paid. You're going to get paid. If you're looking to get a loan or a grant or something like that, that could also apply. For many of you, this could be some kind of a new job or something of this nature. That number 8 on here is really standing out. Now, so I don't know if we could maybe talk about the 28th. That's a kind of a big day in between the nodes and the full moon. But 8 is also the number of Saturn and money and Capricorn. So maybe any of those things could tie in, and you're dealing with a Capricorn. But this card is don't let your imagination run away. It's kind of crowning the reading here. And it's saying don't let your imagination run away with you. And just my imagination once again running away with me. If you're new here, my guides do come through with songs all the time because that's a mode of communication that was established long before psychic readings were established. You know, that's my channel. That's my link to higher source. Always has been for forever. So they come through, and it usually does have meaning. So it's not like I'm just sitting here randomly singing songs for no reason, okay? It's when they come through. So there's a soulmate involved. And sometimes these soulmates are not always going to be like necessarily a soulmate, like a lover. You know, this person that maybe promised you they were going to give you the payment or whatever it is, or they're looking to hire you in the job, that person can also be a soulmate, even if you really don't have a close personal relationship with them. Because our soulmates come along like these earth angels, and they do us these little favors, help us out, do these little things for us without even knowing. You know, we can be, my guides are saying, like 2 ships that pass in the night. So take that as it resonates. Okay, but it sure money looks pretty good here for you, Aries. Stop worrying about it. Everything's coming through for you. Everything's coming up roses, they're saying. Okay. And don't forget to check all 3 of your placements, at least your sun, rising, moon. If you typically do check other placements, Venus, whatever it is, North Node, then always, just follow that protocol, whatever works for you. If you like this content, please hit the like, hype, share, all that good stuff. Subscribe. Next, we're going to look at Taurus. This is going to be your mid-month reading for the rest of the month of July. As I said in the beginning, there's always going to be the bigger reading on my website. If you haven't checked that out, or on my channel, check it out. So we're going to do 4 cards for Taurus. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I think I need to scoot this down just a hair. There we go. That's probably better, right? We have the 3 of Cups, followed by the Queen of Swords, followed by the World, and finally we have the Page of Pentacles. You know, sometimes Taurus, you can be a little bit of a homebody, but this is not the time to be the homebody. This is the time to be out and socializing, because while out and socializing or attending some sort of event, perhaps with the Queen of Swords, or perhaps you're going to meet the Queen of Swords there. Now, the Queen of Swords, there's no gender in these readings, so it could be anybody, but they may be an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. But also, on the 29th, there's going to be a full moon in Aquarius, right after the nodes move into Aquarius. So that's some real big air sign time frame there towards the end of the month. But it could be anything. This feels like a big festive thing. I'm seeing outdoor things like a state fair, or some kind of big outdoor concert, or, you know, festival that goes on for days and things like this. It may be a 3-day festival, or even maybe like a church carnival kind of a thing. Because these banners and stuff, these are turning into like banners, like they would hang over a street, you know, oh, this weekend it's the St. Christopher or whatever, you know, church carnival or church fair or whatever it might be. Don't forego this. This is important for you to get out and do this, because you could make a very important business contact there, or some sort of casual acquaintance that you might run into or meet at this event. And I don't feel like it's necessarily a networking event. It may be for some, but for most I feel like it's just some kind of big out, you know, summertime party thing. And, you know, there could be money that comes to you, and it could be more than you even anticipated. It's almost like, too, it could be a casual conversation. You might meet up with this person there. This might be the person that says, hey, I heard that fair's going on. You want to go? The other thing is, too, it may just be a hot tip. You might just get a hot tip, like a hot stock tip or investment tip or something like that, through, you know, conversations, just general conversations, hanging out with people and doing things like that. So definitely get out there and go to these festivals and these types of things, because something really big, the world is always something really big, could come out. I feel like you're not going there with that intention for most. You're just going there, okay, I'll go to the fair. We'll go for an hour, I'm hearing. We're going for an hour, but then I want to leave. And we could really meet somebody important in your life. Hey, Taurus, if you want to get in on any of my offerings, readings or otherwise, VickyVerley.com, and the special is the eclipse reading. If you like this content, please hit the like, subscribe, all that stuff. It's appreciated. Next, we're going to go on to the sign of Gemini for this mid-month of July. Psychic tarot reading for Gemini peeps of all kinds. Let's see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first card you have is the King of Swords. Next, for Gemini, we have the Ace of Wands. Next card for Gemini, we have the Hermit. And finally, we have the Page of, or it's not the Page, it's the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so, something's sparking, something's happening. Well, a lot is happening. You know, your chart, I mean, your chart is lit up. You know, you've got that basket thing happening with Uranus. It's making, it's doing a, some kind of, it's making a, trying to Pluto. You know, there's all kinds of action happening with Uranus and Gemini. You're very much a part of this big astrological moment that we're in, okay? And actually, this could be a representation of you, regardless of gender, because this is the air sign person. This is the Aquarius, the Gemini, the Libra. But something is sparking here. Something is, this is crowning the reading. Something is sparking. And it's almost like it's coming out of his head. Or they, anybody. Could be no gender. This person has this idea, or has this spark that they want to do. And for some of you, I feel like you're just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Like, I think you think that they don't know what they're talking about, or if you have children, this could be one of your kids, and your kids are like, hey, I think you should do this thing. I heard about this thing, and you're like, yeah, right, kid. You know, you're just a kid. You don't know anything, because you're looking off in the other direction. Actually, you know, you could say that you're looking off into the past. And so maybe something similar like that, either you tried it before and it didn't work out, or you look it up and go, oh, somebody's already doing it, you know. But I wouldn't be so, Hermit's saying, give it some thought, give it some time, think it over, look it over, shine that light and look it over. This person, who, whatever they're proposing, and it may not be your kid necessarily, but I feel like you feel like they are. Like, you know better than them. That's what I get out of it, you know. And, you know, maybe I feel like they might really be onto something. And you don't want to be so quick to turn away or say no, because whatever this idea is here, it could really sprout and grow into more than this initial spark. Because this is earth sign energy too, I want to say that this could have been all the way back in Taurus time. So that would have been back in May that this you came upon this. And maybe it's been a period of time here, you know, it's been maybe 9 weeks or so or something like that. But I just get the feeling like you may be looking, you know, you may just want to thinking of passing it over, and it's definitely not a thing you want to pass over. He's got the green pastures behind him. Whatever this thing that he's, I keep saying he, but again, it could be anybody. Whatever this person is proposing, or the idea that they have, I think they're really onto something. So you better give it, I think you should give it another chance, Gemini, or give it a fair chance. Give it a fair shake, my guys are saying. Alright, Geminis, if you want to check out the rest of your placements, that's always advised. Don't forget I have the bigger reading over on my channel, Rock and Roll Prophetess. If you like this content, please do like and subscribe. For readings and whatever else I offer, it's always going to be on my website. Don't be fooled by social media imposters. Next, we're going to look at the sign of Cancer. Well, we're still in your season, Cancer, for a little bit of it, for the first week there until the 22nd, I believe. Then we're moving on to Leo. Jupiter's moved out of your sign. So yeah, lots, you know, still in your vibe though, still in your season. So let's take a look at these 4 cards for Cancer for the rest of the month of July 2026. We have the Hangman. Next we have the 3 of Wands. Next we have the King of Pentacles. And finally, we have the 3 of Cups. We've got double threes, 3 of Cups and 3 of Wands. Well, the Hangman is another card of signifying, I'm trying to get these kind of lined up, there we go. The Hangman is another card of kind of signifying waiting around. Can be pausing, meditation, something like that. If you have been waiting, something is about to really pop through here. There's going to be cause for some, and I want to say pop, and I feel like some of you are going to be popping open a bottle of champagne for celebration. Because I actually heard that big pop. 3 of Wands says your ships are coming in. So this is nothing that comes out of nowhere. This is something, you know, this could still be that gift from Jupiter. You know, when that Jupiter goes through your sign, when it leaves the sign, you're still in your birthday season, you get that gift. So maybe you've been, it's a 12 too. So maybe for the last 12 months, you're like, okay, Jupiter, where's my gift? Where's my blessings? You're supposed to be helping me out here, dude. And then all of a sudden it does. Now, it seems like the King of Pentacles here is a major player in this, has a major hand in it. King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, which is Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Also, we're having your new moon on the 14th, so that's technically like a day before the halfway point of the... So your new moon is going to be powerful too. But this King of Pentacles, Earth sign person, or the money person, because the King of Pentacles, it holds the coin, you know. So the King of Pentacles too, the thing about the King of Pentacles is they are further along on their path, whatever path they're on. They're not a page, they're not a knight, they're not a queen, they are the king. So they have the power, but not only the power, they have the knowledge and experience. What I'm seeing here, this looks like sort of a lizard, and I want to say it's a chameleon. So chameleon may have something to do with it. Now, if somebody's a chameleon, that means they kind of adapt into any environment, like they blend in and adapt in any environment. But maybe chameleon is the name of a company or a logo or who knows what. You know, it could vary from person to person. But yeah, it looks like whatever you've been waiting for, your ships are coming in, and there's going to be plenty of reason to celebrate here. All right, Cancers, if you want to get in on anything I offer, it's always going to be through my website, VickyRilly.com. And if you want to see more videos, go ahead over to my channel for Rock and Roll Prophetess. Okay, next we're going to gather these up, and we're going to take a look at the sign of Leo. Well, the South Node is moving into your sign, Leo. I am going to do, Jupiter's in your sign, but I am going to do a whole nother video on this whole South Node thing, too. And changing of the nodes. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to make sure you don't miss that video when it comes out. But, yeah, I mean, it's powerful. And Jupiter in your sign is major blessings. People are going to notice you. You're going to get noticed. But the South Node is people from the past, for one thing. You're going to run into people and situations. Like you get another go at things. You get another go at these various relationships or different things. But it's also a big time of releasing. Releasing what no longer serves you. Okay, let's get 4 cards for Leos, Sun, Rising, Moon, or anybody who has prominent Leo in their astrology charts. We have 6. What are we talking about? The past. There we go. 10 of Pentacles, big money. Wheel of Fortune, wow. And the World, wow. Do you have a reading here, Leo? Talk about some big things that are happening. Now you've got the World, that's bigger, better, more. It's a completion, but it's also bigger, better, more than you ever anticipated. 10 of Pentacles, crowning the reading. That's the highest money card in the deck. This is property, inheritance. Large, when it's paired with the Wheel of Fortune, whew, I mean, I know my mom was a Leo and she loved to gamble. And that was before gambling was legal in our state. Well, we weren't allowed, we didn't have casinos, but she would, oh man, she was into it, and a lot of Leos I know, they like to, I'm hearing, you like to party. What am I hearing? You like to party, you like to disco. Oh, no, this ain't no party, this ain't no fooling around. But yeah, you like to party, and the party is on here. I mean, of course, don't blow your wad if you don't have the money to spend, but with this Wheel of Fortune, with this, I mean, you could enter a sweepstakes, something like that. The 6 of Cups ties to the past, but it also represents children. And I was thinking about, when I looked over at that card, what came to mind was sometimes these children's hospitals and stuff, they have these raffles. And they give away houses, and they give away all sorts of things. But you're helping the charity. I mean, that's part of it. You're buying the ticket to help this charity. But so if there's any kind of, or even maybe some kind of kids, whatever, some kind of thing, like raising money, or we're having a raffle to raise money for the school or something like that. But with 10 of Pentacles and this stuff, I mean, you could win like a big trip. I'm picking up, somebody might win a trip to Egypt or something like that. So if there's anything like that comes up, of course, again, stay within your means as always. But, wow, this looks fantastic. Some of you, this could be somebody from the past comes back and is just offering like some kind of opportunity or job or something. Because Wheel of Fortune is that divine timing. And the nodes of fate that I'm talking about that are going into your sign. So, something is really cooking here. And, wow, it looks like really a lot of money and a lot of success. You could get called back to an old job, or an old co-worker could say, hey, I'm doing this thing. I can get you in on it. I'm hearing I can get you in on the ground floor. So, yeah, Leo's, wow, looks fantastic. Hey, Leo, if you want to check out anything from me, it's always going to be through my website. Be wary of these posters on social media. I've got the eclipse reading I'm offering, which will go into that nodal thing as well. Thanks for watching. Check your rising and moon, and if you like it, hit subscribe and hype and all that stuff. Okay, next we're going to take a look at the sign of Virgo. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. I forgot to tell Leos that one of the eclipses is in their sign too. Okay, Virgos, because you've been, the reason that came to mind, I wanted to check over there real quick because you've been having eclipses in your sign, but the upcoming eclipses are not in your sign. They are in Leo and Aquarius. Wow, what a reading we have here, huh? Well, there's definitely some big changes afoot, and what I'm getting out of it for you, and again, check your rising moon, all of them, but count your blessings. Look at what you do have, what you do get. Something's ending, and with the Tower here, you may not see it coming. That Uranus stuff in Gemini, that's squaring all your Virgo stuff, if you have Virgo placements. So, and Virgos are, you guys are creatures of habits. You like things methodically. You don't like big surprises out of left field. That's exactly what you don't like. You want to know exactly wherever, you like things organized, neat. You want to know what everything's going to be. So I feel like there's a big change afoot. Might even be on that full moon in Aquarius around there. That's on the 29th. You have two choices here. You can either say, oh, woe is me, I'm the victim, this thing happened to me. Or you can say, okay, universe, this is taken out of my life. I know I want to count my blessings and focus on what I do have, but also I'm open to receive is a very strong affirmation for you this second half here, Virgo. And so you're open to see, don't get into panic mode, or worry mode, get into, okay, show me what I'm supposed to do next. Clearly this thing wasn't going to be it for me. This is time for that to come to an end. So now I want to know, you have to show me what I do have. And I'm sure you have a few shekels, my guides are saying. You have a few shekels put away. That's going to guide you through a time, if it is some kind of a job loss or something like that. But it could be looks kind of pretty, drastic. I don't want to scare anybody, it might not be for everybody. Sometimes you see this stuff coming, but when you get that tower there, a lot of times you don't see it coming. So just, it's up to you where you're going to go from here. What am I hearing? Where do we go from here, now that all of the children are growing up? And how do we spend our time? Nobody gives us an answer. Okay, I don't know what that's all about. Well, hey, Virgo, that was a pretty kind of shocking reading for you. It doesn't have to be a negative, but it's a big change. And we are heading into eclipse season too, and a lot of stuff's going on. But, again, it's what you do with it. It's how you react to it. The ball is in your court. You are the master of your own destiny. That's what my guides are saying. Okay. All right, Libra, let's take a look at you guys for the second half of July 2026 for our Libra's peeps. What do we have for Libra? Okay, let's see. First card you have is the Four of Cups, followed by Ace of Pentacles. Over here we have the Wish card, and down here at the bottom we have the Ace of Cups. So look at double aces. So for sure some kind of a new beginning. Somebody's making you an offer. Could be an offer of money, could be an offer of love, but it's a wish come true. It's happiness, abundance. This is one of the better readings this month also. So the offer's coming and you're pondering it. You don't know. You could have 3 offers. Maybe you had 3 offers and then you've narrowed it down to 2. Like say these are 3 career paths, So it's like, well, I could take the one here that's going to bring me the most money, the Pentacle, or I could take the Ace of Cups route, the one that's going to bring me the most joy, happiness, and fulfillment in my heart. That's going to make my heart sing. So the choice is up to you. You have a choice in this matter. You have options. I feel like there's something that encompasses all of these things. That there's a new money-making opportunity or job or something, Ace of Cups, that you really do love, enjoy. Perhaps something creative even, because many Libras are very creative and artistic too. But your wish is coming true. For some of you, it's a dream job too. I'm getting somebody is a dream job. Maybe now remember Mercury's retrograde. If you put your resume in and you're waiting to hear back or whatever, Mercury's going to go direct on the 23rd. So it might be the 23rd before we really get this all straightened out. Or so maybe you're just like, well, I put my resume in 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. I'm waiting to hear back. What should I do? My guide said just hold tight. Good news is coming. You're going to get that wish come true, and you're going to get these wonderful new beginnings that you're hoping for. All right, Libras, check out all your placements, Sun, Rising, Moon, or any of the placements that you usually resonate with, whether it's Venus, nodes, all that stuff. If you want to get a hold of me for readings or anything else, you got to go to my website, okay? VickyBurley.com. Don't be fooled by these imposters. I do have that special eclipse reading if you're interested. If you like stuff, hit that like, subscribe. It's always appreciate it. Next, we're going to take a look at the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio, Scorpio. All right, let's see what we get for the second half of July for Scorpio, Sun, Rising, Moons, peeps, anybody, whatever you resonate with, like I said. Okay. The High Priestess, the Death card, the Three of Wands, and lastly, the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Rods. Okay, well, the Queen of Fire, or Queen of Rods, is representation of a fire sign person, perhaps, which is a Leo, an Aries, or a Sagittarius. But in the second half of the month, we're having all this. We already got Jupiter in Leo, okay? But we're having the Sun will be in Leo after the 22nd. Then the South Node's going to be in Leo on the 27th. So there's major Leo energy as we round the corner of the 22nd onward. And you've got a 2 here also. So that could be like 22. I feel like that's a key time. Death is here, but I don't feel like it's any bad thing at all. I feel like death is like finally that's off my back. I don't have to worry about that anymore. And your ships are coming in. And your ships are coming in with the number 3. And I feel like this number 3 is meaningful. Whether that's an amount, add the appropriate amount of zeros. If it's a money thing, maybe 3,000, 30,000, 300,000, 3 million, whatever. But it also could be 3 people. So there could be 3 people working together. You've got 2 here, and then the person on the card too. But for some, I feel like it's going to be a trio. If it's a band, it would be a trio or something like that. The High Priestess here is like your intuition is just on point, which it always is. Scorpio, you and Pisces are the most intuitive of all the astrology signs. Many Scorpios are psychic. And actually, speaking of that, it's the astrology of the Scorpio energy, the Death card is your card in the major arcana. Each astrological sign has a major arcana card that is associated with it. And in your case, it's the Death card. So, you're not afraid to go down to that underworld, Scorpio. You got that in. It's woven into the fabric. Your fabric. That's you all day long. But again, I don't feel bad. This is anything bad. It feels very much a relief. It feels like finally that's over. Maybe it's some kind of test you had to take, or maybe you're waiting on some medical advice, even some medical results or something, or you have to go in for your colonoscopy or something. Like, oh, I'm glad that's over with. I get that very much. Or if maybe you're going to be retiring and you're just like, oh, I'm glad I don't have to do that job anymore, or whatever it might be. This feels welcome and relief, and because it's followed by this 3 of Wands, you're very happy about it. It's whatever you've been wanting. You're getting it, okay? All right, Scorpio, check your sun, rising moon, and all those placements. Whatever you typically look at on any of the readings, whatever you resonate with. If you want to get a hold of me for readings or whatever, it's always going to be through my website. Don't be fooled by social media imposters. I do have the special eclipse reading that I'm running right now, if you're interested in that, again, through the website. Thanks for tuning in, and remember to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff to help the channel. Next, we're going to take a look at Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you such a crazy pants. All right, you crazy pants MFers, let's see what we got here for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you such a crazy pants. We have the 2 of Cups. Somebody else had that in the exact same spot, too, over here. Okay, so we got 2 of Cups. We have the World, nice. We also have the 7 of Wands. And finally, we have the 7 of Swords. So you got double 7s. The 7s, well, this is a card of struggle. Something you've been really struggling with. And what I'm hearing from my guides is you might be ready to throw in the towel. You might be getting ready to throw in the towel. I mean, the 2 of Cups this year could be a relationship. Maybe you guys have been going through a rough spot. There's been a lot of astrology stuff going on. I need a quick sip of water, excuse me. So there's been all these Mars, and I think it's Mars and Pluto, and a lot of people have, got their dander up, and people have been, there's been a lot of maybe fighting, arguing, discord, my guides want me to say. There's been a lot of discord. So there's been struggle. For some, yeah, you're gonna make it. I'm hearing you're gonna make it after all. Mary Tyler Moore. So you're gonna make it after all. And not only are you gonna, whatever this is, whatever this struggle is, okay, you got the World above here. So the World says you're going to come through it with flying colors. It's all going to work. It's all going to come to full completion. But it also, at times, in this particular instance, it looks like the World can be a portal, because it does look like a portal. So I feel like this is the struggle. This is going through, almost like how you would run the gauntlet, If you're running the gauntlet, you got all this stuff coming at you, and but then you get to the other side, and you're just like, yeah, okay, bitches, who's out of the gauntlet now? Just check me out, Or for some, maybe you've been through a lot of struggle in relationships, and now you're going to venture out there again, and you're going to find something different, Whatever awaits you on the other side is going to be putting, this struggle is coming to an end with the world crowning the reading. And there's a soulmate there too that's there to help. Whether, I feel like also I want to say, for some maybe it's a soulmate in spirit, whether they're in the spirit or in the physical realm. But there's definitely a strong soulmate energy. Alright, Saggies, check your sun, rising, moon, or whatever else you typically check. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff. If you want to get through to me for readings or whatever, you got to go to my website. Don't be fooled by these social media imposters. I do have the special eclipse reading going on, but there's other things there as well. Next, we're going to take a look at the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn, Capricorn. Yeah, well, we had what, your full moon? It was not too long ago. We did have a full moon in Capricorn at the end of June. But let's take a look at what the cards have to say for our Capricorns, our sun, rising, moon, Caps, or anybody, whatever you normally check again. Whatever you resonate with, you would be looking at that. Queen of Cups we have here. And next we have Ten of Pentacles. Capricorns are like, yeah, baby, we'll take that. The Knight of Fire, Knight of Wands, and finally the King of Cups. Well, what do you notice here is people. People, keep on keeping. Yeah, there's a lot of people around you. And none of these would be a representation of you, technically. I mean, if you're sun, rising, moon, or whatever. So we got Queen of Cups, water. King of Cups, water. Water is Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. And then we've got Knight of Fire, Knight of Rods, which is Fire, Leo, Aries, Sag. Well, this is the thing. This month, and during the second half of the month, we are transitioning from the water sign of Cancer into the fire sign of Leo. So there is this water to fire transitionary thing happening at this time here of the second half of the month of July. These people, typically I would say the Queen and King of Cups are probably connected, and that may be the case, but honestly I'm not feeling that as strongly. Here's what I feel. There's three buyers or whatever. So say you're trying to sell a house or a big ticket item. You're trying to sell a house or a car or a boat or something. A condo, I'm hearing. You're going to have three different people interested in it. Okay, they're all want this, whatever this Ten of Pentacles is. I'm picking up for some people that if you do art or something, like paintings or art, that these are going to be like collectors, that you're going to be these fans. Like they feel like these people are fans of whatever you're offering here. And, they're willing to pay for it, whatever. They're willing to, my guides are saying they're willing to pay top dollar. Maybe it's 3 jobs. If you've been out looking for a job, you could have three offers. Maybe it's 3 clients if you're doing some kind of big business dealings here. These are 3 different clients that all, in a way, I feel like they're kind of competing. So if you have something up for auction or for sale, that's the strongest thing I get. Like there's these 3 people and they all want it. It feels like it's not necessarily like there's not enough to go. There's a scarcity element, but not in the best possible way for you. It's just like, well, I've only got 1 to sell, and they're all vying for it. They're all after it here, and they're after you and what you're having to offer here. And my guides keep saying you can charge top dollar, so you're in demand. So if you have a business or a skill, maybe it's time to raise your prices. If you're getting more business than you can handle. And that's the universe's way of saying it's time to raise your prices. Or maybe you could, you could always lower your price later if there's something you're going to sell. Maybe you should try for the higher end. Try for that higher end. Or try for that higher end salary if you're negotiating salary. All right, well, that looks good, right, Caps? I'm excited. Because I'm a Capricorn, too. That's why I say I'm excited. Hey, please do, if you want to get a hold of me, don't be fooled by social media imposters. Always go through my regular website, VickyBurley.com, and I just noticed we don't have a Pisces card out here. Let me find it while I'm thinking of it. You guys can hang on a second there, can't you, Aquarius? My guys are saying, don't get ants in your pants. What? Yeah, you hear that, Aquarius? Don't get ants in your pants now. I just want to make sure I had it, or I wasn't going to have to hunt around for it. Okay, so Aquarius, sorry about that. Well, you're having your full moon this second half. That's exciting. And also the node is moving into your sign this second half. So, you might want to consider getting that astrology reading or getting an astrology reading from somebody, because there's a lot of astrology. You get the one new moon, the one full moon every month, every year, and it's 29th is your full moon. And then also the 27th, just 2 days before, that's when the North Node moves into your sign. I'm going to do a whole separate video on that too, so make sure you're subscribed so when you don't miss that when it comes out, because there'll be some important information in there for you. But you know, if you're an Aquarius, chances are you have a lot of other placements. You're probably, especially if you're Aquarius sun sign, you probably could have Mercury or Venus in Aquarius too. And you know, so it's not just your sun sign. So this, you know, these nodes are going to come through and hit your sun. They're going to hit this. They're going to hit all your placements. And that's something that we can really dive into in an astrology reading. But let's do the second half of July for Aquarius. Let's see what we get here. We have the Strength card, having patience, hanging in, the Nine of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and finally we have the Emperor. Well, the Emperor is going to cut right through that stuff. Whatever, this is talking about being stuck. And after all, Mercury is retrograde, so a lot of things are kind of held up right now until the Mercury goes direct on the 23rd. But it's still retrograde as of the time of this reading. But it's looking like things are stuck here. You know, you're stuck in a rut. I'm hearing stuck in the middle with you. I'm not going to sing it. But yeah, but have strength and persevere. Stick to your guns. That's what I want to tell you. Because you're in the right. And the Emperor's going to see that you're in the right. This feels very much like being in integrity. Like somebody's trying to pull some crap, or somebody's cutting corners. Like maybe one of your competitors is selling it, or producing or selling or offering a similar thing, but it's a lesser quality. You know, you want to stick to your guns and stay in your integrity. Don't engage with these lower vibrational things. Because the Emperor is going to reward you with the Nine of Pentacles. The Emperor sees what's going on. So say this is some kind of drama at work, for instance. The Emperor may see what's going on and say, I'm going to give you the promotion. And then you won't have to work with that person. Or you'll be their boss. Or, you know, if it's an investor, they've got a limited amount of funds. They're going to invest in your business, or a client. Because often this is your own business here, the Nine of Pentacles. Or entrepreneurial type of thing. You got the Lion Leo energy showing up here too, and all that stuff will be in Leo the second half of the month. The North Node is going into your sign, but the South Node is going into Leo. So there's, you know, Leo energy is really prevalent this second half of the month. But I feel like don't go rolling in the mud with the swine here. I feel like somebody's really low vibing, somebody's really trying to pull some shit here, and you know, you're just like, stay in your integrity. I am taking this higher road. And that will be recognized by the Emperor. The Emperor's not interested in this stuff. This petty nonsense. It feels very petty. This petty nonsense. They want a quality product. They want somebody who's mature and professional. And that's where you come in. Okay, Aquarius? So just stay there. You might be tempted to say, I didn't say that, or they're lying, or, you know. Don't get into it. Just don't get into it. Just let your work speak for itself. That's what my guide said. Hey Aquarius, if you want to get a hold of me for readings or anything, you got to go to my website. Please don't be fooled by the imposters out there. I am offering that eclipse reading, and although the eclipse isn't going to be in your sign, it's in your opposite sign of Leo, but we'll look at those nodes going into your sign and stuff if you order the reading. Alright, next we're going to do Pisces, last but not least. Well, Pisces, one of the eclipses next month is in your sign, actually, the second one. But yeah, this is for the second half of July right now for Pisces. Whatever placements you normally check, sun, rising, moon. There's no hard, fast rules in this stuff, you know. Lovers, upright, yay, the devil. And I heard devil may care attitude, Eight of Pentacles. Oops, I almost pulled two cards. And then the Nine of Rods. Well, some of you are caught in some old patternings, and you're just coming out of. The devil is also Saturn and Capricorn energy, and you know it's been a minute, but you're still recovering from the Saturn and being in your sign, I want to say, and you may have been really through a major karmic relationship during that time over the last few years, and so it's kind of like once bitten, twice shy, because you're very on guard about this. whoever's trying to offer you love or whatever, this beautiful, the Garden of Eden thing over here is your very, and where is this coming from? Where is this trepidation or this feeling so guarded about? Where's it coming from? It's coming from the devil. It's coming from being into bondage to something that's not real or that you can easily escape from. It's things from the past. The full moon is a very powerful time to release things from the past on the 29th. Somebody's really offering you beautiful, loving energy, and for some reason you are very overly on guard and blocking them out. I think you're still in bondage to something that happened from the past. So the full moon, it's in Aquarius, it's not in your sign, but it's still a good time to let go of that stuff. You know, that's a good time to perform these kind of, burn a candle or write down whatever you feel like is holding you back. Write it down, throw it in the fire, or in your case you could write it on, like, you can go to the water and you might want to write it on, you know, you can write it on toilet paper because it'll dissolve in the water. Or sometimes I'll just find some leaves or something and write them on the leaves and then throw them in the water. You know, you have over here, this seems to be so much more of what you're focused on, though, the lovers thing over here. But, you know, you have an opportunity, too, in the Eight of Pentacles. That's a great card as well. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of doing something that you really love, doing work that you love, not doing it solely to earn income or earn money or make money. You're doing it because it's something that you really enjoy. This is the kind of thing where the hours pass and you're like, where did the time go? You know, it's not a type of thing where you're over here in bondage and you're looking at the clock every 5 minutes. So it has to be. I remember when I worked at this factory this one time, third shift factory job I had for one summer, and that was all I could take. You know, I had worked this machine. I could still hear it. It was this baseball, these plastic baseball caps that they give out at for baseball games and stuff, and it would be stamped with the emblem, and then it would spit it out, and I had to put the thing in the air and bag it and get it in a plastic thing and get it in a box, and it made this that noise over and over and over again. I used to sit there and say, we will rock you. It would go plump, plump, and that was when it spit out the hat, and they were hot. They were hot to the touch. We had to wear these leather things, and it was a horrible job, and it was very sexist and really asshole. These guys, all the women running the machines were women, and these guys were just creeps. They were total creeps. I don't know why this is all coming back to me. Oh, but in that job, yeah, I would be like, I'm not going to look at the clock. I'm not going to look at the clock. I'll be just focused on my machine and my hats and stuff. And then I'd say, okay, I'm going to look. It has to be a half hour has to go by, and it's like 2 minutes went by. You know, it's like, oh my God, I hate this job, and it was so hot too. Oh, it was the worst job I ever had, I think. But anyways, I was a teenager still. It was the summer. I worked there over the summer. But anyways, what was I saying about this? This is the exact opposite of that, okay? This is where you're so engrossed in what you're doing that the time just flies by, and wow, I thought, I got to get ready to go, or it's time to go already. I got to go do it, because I was working, 3 hours flew by and I didn't even realize it. So this is the thing you want to go for, and maybe free yourself from the shackles of bondage. You got to free yourself from the shackles of bondage no matter what. That seems to be the biggest message that I'm getting for you for the second half, Pisces. Okay, we could always dive into the personal messages through any kind of reading that I offer on my website. But also, that eclipse reading, you're one of the eclipse signs. It's going to be in Leo and Pisces. So if you want to check that out, that'll be available for a limited time. That's a special offering. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a great second half of July. And I'll be back again soon with another reading.